Hi, welcome back. We are discussing some Sephora. I think is this the spring savings event? I always get what they call each like quarterly sale. You know what we're here for. We're going to discuss some Sephora sale recommendations. Now, as I have altered my content throughout the years, what I try to do is just kind of mention the basics, things that I've really been loving for at least 6 months, I would say, because I know you're getting a lot of recommendations and I really don't want to load you down. So let's go ahead and start off strong with a couple of my skincare and prep products. These are just two holy grails for me that I have been using for years and that I always pick up during the sale. I always manage to pick up at least one of these for a refill, or I just happen to almost be out of one of these. So it is my Skinfix Barrier Plus Tripid Lipid Cream and also the Tatcha Indigo Cleansing Balm. So this is what I use to remove my makeup at night. One of these lasts me at least 4 months. I feel like I only have to buy these a couple times a year. You can see I'm kind of running low on mine. This is really great if you have sensitive skin. I just recently talked about this in a favorites video, but if you have sensitive eczema, rosacea, redness prone skin, this is such a dream. And honestly, even if you have like a normal skin type, it's just meant to really heal the skin, be very soothing. The entire Indigo line from Tatcha is of that nature. So this is something I would highly recommend if you're into double cleansing or a makeup melting cleansing balm. The second thing, like I mentioned, is my triple lipid cream from Skinfix. Skinfix is such an underrated brand. Honestly, I really like a lot of their products, but this is the most consistent. I repurchased this. I'm not gonna lie, to me this runs out a little quick, and I don't know if it's because I use it as my daytime and morning moisturizer, but I tend to go through this pretty quickly. I'd say I can get about like a 3 months use out of this, but it is so good if you have dry eczema prone skin. I use it year round. I find that when I take it out of my routine and I start using something else, it'll work for a little while, but then I have to revert back to this. It's just such a rich moisturizing cream. It never compromises my skin barrier. It never clogs my pores. It just is the perfect balance for me for a daily and nighttime moisturizer. So 10 out of 10 would always recommend this if you're looking for something for sensitive skin that's just very multi-purpose. So I don't really have any new foundation recommendations. I feel like I haven't tried anything new that has really blown my mind in the past year or so. So what I thought I would do is just list some of my favorites that are going to be included in the sale down below. However, I do have concealers to talk about. I've been using my concealer as foundation a lot lately, and I have 3 really solid recommendations that are going to be in the Sephora sale. Starting out with, I think this one is the most affordable, and it is the Tarte Creaseless Creamy Concealer. This is a pretty full coverage concealer. I love wearing it as foundation. It looks so good all over the skin. So if I'm just in a quick rush and I just want something that I know is going to give me a really smooth, even look, that I don't have to set. Honestly, I don't have to set any of these concealers I'm going to talk about, so we're going to call them self-setting. This is such a good one. It's truly lasted me such a long time. I'm kind of like scraping the edges of it. It's really on its last leg, and I can't remember the last time I did that with a concealer. With concealers, I tend to hop around a lot. This one, it's been consistent, baby. Like, I have been using this. I want to say I got this in the fall time, so somewhere around like October, and I just think it is so smoothing. It gives very good coverage. So if you need a little bit more coverage, if you need more of a fuller coverage style concealer, this is the one I would go for. It looks great. Out of the 2 that I'm going to mention, the second is one that is currently in my project pan. So the Tarte one was in my project pan. I'm gonna probably retire it very soon because, like I said, I'm having to like scrape the edges. Not much is coming out, so it is pretty much retired, and I have moved on to my Westman Atelier Vital Skincare Concealer. Now, this is a very pricey concealer, as most Westman Atelier products are, but I have to say that I was very surprised at the coverage level in this concealer, and I feel like if you're paying a certain amount of money for a concealer, you want a good level of coverage, and this truly does have that. Again, I've been using it as my foundation. I currently wear the shade L1 is the shade that I am currently wearing. And again, I love Westman's packaging. It is very luxe, but I was very surprised to see that this is more of like a medium full coverage concealer. I was really expecting it to be a little bit more on the lighter coverage side, just giving the nature of Westman, you know, it's like a very breathable, fresh brand, but this has a good amount of coverage to it. Now, I will say that if you have extremely dry skin, I don't know if this is the one I would recommend or like reach for. I do find that I have to hydrate pretty well before I use this concealer. However, I don't have to set it. It is more of a flatter finish. So for that reason, I don't have to go in with any powder, and it is very quick to apply. And as long as I put my moisturizer on underneath it, I think it looks really nice. So this is one that I've been loving. And like I said, it's in my current project pan, so you will probably be seeing more of this. I broke my no buy rule with this concealer purchase. I really did not need this because like I said, I still had the Tarte and Westman concealer to use up, but I really just couldn't resist the description, and I was on the Sephora website. Actually, I might have been repurchasing my Tatcha cleansing balm. I can't remember. I was repurchasing something that I was out of, and I saw this and I couldn't resist, and I have been using it. Like I've been alternating it a couple days with my Westman. It's just the Refy concealer. I'm not exactly sure what the full name is, but I will list it down below. But it is fairly new. It's a very thin consistency, but again, it has very good coverage. So I'm loving kind of seeing the revival of concealers that actually cover, because I feel like we got into the spree where concealers were kind of a gimmick and the fresh, lightweight, no makeup trend was really taking over. And so the concealers that were coming out were just like no coverage at all, which just, I don't know, it doesn't make sense to me. So this, again, I would say solid medium coverage. If you like concealers that are super thin, that you can like tap in and blend out with your finger, this is definitely one of those. I love the thin, breathable consistency. Like I said, medium coverage on this one. I do, again, find that if I'm extremely dry, I want to hydrate underneath this concealer. Anything that's kind of self-setting, which this one is, I absolutely, like today, the only place that I have powder on is underneath my eyes, just to help kind of smooth the transition between like, you know, my concealer and then my blush and bronzer. I do find that I have to, you know, be a little bit careful when it comes to what I'm wearing underneath. I need to hydrate and I need to apply at least my Skinfix moisturizer to give my skin some extra hydration. However, once I've done that, this applies beautifully. I'm currently wearing this today and I just think it wears good. It has a great grip to it. It's thin, it's breathable, but it offers good coverage. So this is another one I'm gonna throw in as a little bonus, a little freebie. This was my little project pan rule breaker concealer. I just could not, I've really been loving Refy. You're gonna see, actually the next product I'm gonna talk about is Refy. You're gonna see a few Refy products hit the market in today's video because I have just been all over that brand the past few months. Refy dual-ended complexion brush. I love this brush. I feel like every couple of years I find a new dual-ended brush that I fall in love with, and so far for the past probably 5-6 months it's been this one from Refy. I just love, it's so lightweight, which can kind of be off-putting to some people. I know when some people think of like lightweight, they think of cheap. I'm not out here trying to say that they spent a lot of money on this brush. I think that this is probably equivalent to the same price as like a Real Techniques brush. However, it is so well made. I have washed this time and time again. I don't get any shedding, and I like that it's lightweight because it just doesn't weigh down my travel makeup bag. This is just the epitome of a perfect complexion brush. So you have the kind of slightly slanted foundation side, which I use for my foundation, bronzer, blush, really everything I use this larger side for. And then you have kind of the slightly more tapered side. So this is what I will go in with my concealer to help blend my concealer out. I've even used this as a quick like eyeshadow brush when I've been traveling. And I just love how multi-purpose, multi-use this brush is. There's something about it that just, it always gets the job done. And I'm one of those people that I did a minimalist like capsule collection recently, and I included this brush because you can do an entire full face with this brush. I again will use this side for powder occasionally to set my under eyes and just T-zone area. It really does it all. So I wanted to include this in case you are on the hunt for a good multi-purpose brush. I don't think you would be disappointed in this. For highlighter, of course, I have to mention my never-ending highlighter stick. This has been in my project pan for a year and a half. I use this every single day, and I don't know when it's ever gonna run out. Like, I don't know how more people are not talking about this. Please tell me your experience with this highlighter. Am I crazy? What's going on? It's just my Merit highlighting balm, and I have mine in the shade Bounce. I actually have two of these, but I don't really have the chance to dig into the other one because this one simply will not run out. It will not run out, people. Like, okay, I'm gonna twist this up and see how much I have left here. Okay, so I've got about this much left. Let me let the camera zoom in here. I've got about this much left. Honey, this is probably gonna last me the rest of the year based on what I've been experiencing. Seriously, I've been using this for a year and a half and it has not ran out. So if you want something that's gonna last, I truly cannot recommend these enough. And honestly, I think they're so multi-purpose. They give the perfect amount of glow. I'm currently wearing Bounce right now. If you have mature skin, I truly don't think there's anything better on the market than the Merit highlighting balm. It just looks so fresh and healthy. It's not glittery, and it just immediately rehydrates the skin. If I apply too much powder and I need to revive my skin, I just pop a little bit of this on and I'm good to go. So this is my recommendation for highlighter. I mix this with my blush a lot of the times, and my blush is still, again, I'm in the same spot here. I'm still using my Milk Makeup cream blush stick. This one's in the shade Rally. I'm truly scared to twist this up anymore, but look at how much of this bad boy I have left. Again, been using her solid almost every single day for a year and a half, and it's nowhere near close to running out. So this is the Milk Makeup blush in Rally, and truly any of the shades from the Milk Makeup lineup, whether it is the blush or bronzer, I would highly recommend because they last such a long time. Very compact, very travel friendly. So I wanted to throw these in because, again, they've been in my project pan for so long and they are nowhere near running out. So these are going to last you a very long time. I am also wearing the shade Stoked in the Sculpt stick. I'm wearing Stoked with a little bit of the Refy cream bronzer in Dune. I like this bronzer, and as you can see, this is one of my only cream bronzers I have in my collection right now. I've hit pan on it. I don't know that it's the longest lasting. That's why I didn't include it in my recommendations video. I do like it. I wear it almost every single day. I've talked about it in videos before, but I do find that it tends to fade. And I've been having to go in with a little bit of powder bronzer to give my skin a little bit more life. So I don't think I'm going to throw this one in there as a total recommendation, but the Milk Makeup bronzers and sculpting sticks are really phenomenal, come in some phenomenal shades, and they last so long. My powder recommendation is going to come as no shock. It's the Hourglass Vanish powder. I love this. It has since replaced my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless powder. I think they are very similar, but there was just something about this Hourglass one that really stood out to me when I purchased it, and it just gave this ultimate blurring effect. I thought the Charlotte Tilbury one was super blurring, and then I got this one and I just feel like it's even more blurring. It's lasted me forever. As we can tell, Project Pan, we are still working on it. I use this every single day, and I purchased this well over 6 months ago, so it has lasted me such a long time. I have Translucent Light, which is a little bit more on the pink side. I kind of want to try just the totally translucent one next time because I am planning to repurchase this when I run out. They do just have a totally translucent one, so I do want to try that one next. And then I think there's one that's a little bit more yellow, and then one that is for deeper complexions. So I just love this. I think it's suitable for all skin types. It's gorgeous. It is smoothing. It is perfecting. It does not make you look dry or flaky. Everything about it, I love. I'm on board with. So this 10 out of 10 is my powder recommendation. I warned you that Refy was going to hit the scene a lot in this video. I have been using their Brow Sculpt, which is just their clear brow gel. I love this as someone who is so lazy with their brows. I don't even fill them in. I'm currently only wearing this on my eyebrows, and it's a little messy. I will just go ahead and caution, like I have to scrape off most of the excess, but I just like brush a little into my brows, and then the cap is a little comb or brush, just depending on how long your brows are. I use the brush side, and then I just kind of brush them up and I just like peck them into place. And for my age, for my hair color, I just feel like this is the move for me right now. I'm finding that if I use pencil or anything else in my brows, it just makes my face look heavy. I will pop in a little bit of Gen C tinted brow gel sometimes if I feel like they're looking too gappy. But overall, I love the shape and the structure that this gives my brows, and I think it's going to last me forever because, like I said, I have to scrape off the excess product, and it's just, there's a ton of product in here, so I think it's going to last me a very long time. For eyes, you are going to find that I have nothing new to share here. I am always going to preach these little guys right here, the Kaja Bento Shadow Stacks. I'm currently wearing a new shade that I've been wanting to get my hands on, and Kaja happened to send this to me in a little package lately. So I don't know if they saw my video where I mentioned I had been wanting to try this new color, but I got it and I wore it for today's video. Of course, it's classic. It's gorgeous. It's the Cold Brew stack, and just look at the shades in here. I'm going to do a little zoomy zoom so you can see. Of course, you've got that like classic champagne tone, the middle tone. This like silvery taupe, which is mainly what I have on my lid. And then for your definition shade, a nice rich coffee brown. So that is currently what I'm wearing on my eyes. I love it. It's very cool toned, and I just find that the Kaja Bento Shadow Stacks have the most gorgeous color combinations. Like Chocolate Dahlia is one of my favorites. Neutral Moment, if you like just clean classic mattes. Okay, this is from Armani. This is the Eye Tint, and it's in the shade 67S. I have been a long time user of the Eye Tints. Now, the Eye Tints are, again, on the elevated price side because obviously it's Armani. But if you are someone that likes a quick, sheer, easy to apply product that truly does last, I find that these last really well on my eyes. This is definitely one to look into. And like I said, the shade is called 67S. This is what it looks like. It's that gorgeous, just kind of shell peachy tone. It looks so ethereal, just washed over the lids, very easy to apply. Honestly, you could do it without a mirror. So that's what I love about this product. I will say these dry down, so you kind of do have to work with them pretty quickly, but once they're dry, you just are left with this soft, beautiful sheen to the lid. Lots of pretty colors. I think this is a minimalist vibe. Like if you, again, most of you that follow me, I feel like we are in the same category. If you are someone that just likes a one and done shade that's easy to throw on and you can be out the door, one of these would be perfect. It doesn't have to be this shade. This is just the current shade that I have. I used to have several of these, but I used them up. And this is the one that I'm currently rocking with. They also do some really fun shades. Orange Blossom and Rose Water are two shades that I really enjoy that have some color or pops of color in them. So these are just really fun and underrated, and I always talk about them. I always bring them up during the sale because I think it's a perfect time. Once you try these, you will want them all. It's kind of like a little addiction. It's sickening, but I love all of the stacks in this lineup. Moving on to lips and sticking to Kaja, I wanted to talk about their Juicy Glasses. I love these lip glosses. The shade I'm wearing today is called Cherry Cola, and honestly my favorite out of the entire, I only have 3 of these, but my favorite is Plum Paloma, which is the first one that I purchased. I think the other 2 that I have are like the Juicy Glass, like milky ones, like they're a little bit more pigmented, but if you get the original Juicy Glasses, they're super sheer and glassy, and just it just adds like a little bit of tint to the lips. But today I'm wearing Cherry Cola, which has a bit more color to it. And I just think these are lip oils, number one, but I just feel like these are so comfortable. They look amazing. Like no matter what I have on with them, they always look good. The shades are super cute. They also all have different scents, so they smell like what the name says. I don't know if this definitely has like a subtle cherry scent to it. I don't think it smells like cherry cola, but they just give a beautiful sheen to the lips. Super comfortable. This one is called Fig Smoothie. I'll do swatches of all of these, but if you have not checked these out and you are a lip oil person, you can see like how much of this Plum Paloma I've used. Also, this is going to take me forever to use up, but this shade goes with everything. I wear this with brown lip liners. I wear it with pink. I wear it with nude. It just goes with everything. So if I were to recommend like any of the shades I have today, it would definitely be Plum Paloma or from the original lines. I think there's like a purple. I think there's a purple one and a really sheer pink one called Fizz something. I just love the sheer tones. I just love anything sheer. I love anything that's a lip oil, and I love anything that looks glassy and feels good on the lips. So these are standouts for me. Honestly, I just don't know if Kaja can do wrong in my book. I love all of their products. If you thought I was done talking about Refy, you would be wrong, because I have talked about their lip blurs for the past 3 or 4 months. I'm obsessed. I use these every single day. I have 4 colors. The shade I'm wearing today is Stone, which is probably my favorite out of the 4 shades that I do have. Actually, I know this one is my favorite. It's a nice, soft, kind of like tawny brown, not overwhelming, just kind of like my perfect everyday lip if I want an elevated look. If I want a barely there, just more defined soft look, I'll go for Opal, which is more of a pink tone. It definitely mimics my true lip color better than Stone does, but Stone adds volume, it adds contrast, and I love wearing this particular shade. But I love the lip blurs because they are not super precise. You can apply them and they give fullness to the lips, but a blurred effect, like the name says. They're soft. They're easy to apply. They don't give you that harsh, sharp precision like a traditional pencil would. So if you struggle with lip liners and you want to wear a lip liner, but you always feel like it just looks like too much or it looks too sharp, will caution, Refy has had some pushback on these because, and I've experienced this with 2 of mine, they come in and they will fall out of the component very easily. 2 of mine are secure. 2 have come in, and if I'm not careful, I think Stone might be one, honestly, that might fall out. Let's see. Yep. So you kind of like, it's the luck of the draw with these. I don't know if Refy is working on fixing that, but some of them might fall out of the component very easily. But I don't twist it up enough to where it really affects. I don't ever notice it. Like I barely twist mine up and I get enough out to use it. And I'm totally fine with it. It doesn't fall out on me. So I do want to caution, if that bothers you, you might want to, I don't know, not look into them. The pros outweigh the cons, in my opinion. All right, guys, I think that is it for my recommendations. I truly did not want to overwhelm. I wanted to streamline, just throw in some things that I truly use almost every single day that I've been enjoying, like I said, for at least 6 months now. A couple of these were a little newer than that, but I felt them worthy to mention. So I hope you enjoyed. I hope you got some good recommendations. As always, let me know what is on your radar for the sale down below in the comments, and I will see y'all in my next video. Bye.